I've learned a lot about the great history of the restaurant, the generations, the traditions, and now it's time to look into the future and what's next and what's coming forth for the restaurant. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Edgar Chase the fourth, Dooky Chase. I'm Leah's grandson, the fourth generation. So when you're talking about the legacy of the restaurant, it's a lot of us involved. It's my grandparents were able to teach us the foundation, and each one of us picked up a suit in this restaurant, right? I'm in the kitchen, I love the back of the house, but we have people that loves the front of the house. So when it takes all of us to fill those two people's shoes who really started this business and got us to where we are today.
We know the restaurant has a famous, world famous menu, and but can you talk about the origin of where these foods come from, these choices come from? Can you speak about the Creole cuisine?
Yeah, when you talk about the Creole cuisine, it's a huge influence from a lot of different cultures, right? So you have the African influence, the Italian influence, the Spanish, the French, all that merging in one. And a beautiful thing that my grandparents were able to do here, African Americans had no white tablecloths placed to experience that cuisine, right? They cooked it for other people at that time. They had no time to come back and enjoy it themselves at the table. And that's what Dooky Chase did, right? There was a fine dining, and still is a fine dining restaurant where African Americans can come in and enjoy the Creole cuisine that we have today.
Can you speak about your legacy in the kitchen?
Yeah, so, you know, when you talk about the next generation and continuing that legacy, right, it's always one, you have to sustain that business, have to sustain that foundation. And then it's our generation, we have to grow it, right? We have to make sure we continue it for my kids and and my grandkids. So where we were able and fortunate enough to get into the airport and have opportunities, that's why we have Leah's Kitchen, which pays homage and a tribute to my grandmother, and it tells her life story. And that focuses on the art, the cuisine, and the music in that one location. And that's where we are. We're looking for ways to grow the business where all the family that wants to be involved can be involved. And you know, my grandparents created a wonderful brand. They made it easy for us to get in this industry and keep moving it forward. So it's our job to move it forward.
I believe this is the world famous Mrs. Leah Chase's Gumbo. And can you tell me a little bit about what's in it?
Yeah, so this is what we're known for here. So our gumbo, we have a local hot sausage from Vance Vaucresson. We have double D smoked sausage. We have ham hocks. We have shrimp. We have crabs. We have chicken. We have veal stew meat.
All that in here right now?
We have it all in this pot.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, indeed.
So you explained to me all the different proteins and flavors that's in this world famous gumbo. What do you think is the deciding factor that make this gumbo, it separates itself from others around the world?
You know, it all comes down to that roux, right? And how you build that roux. A lot of people just use oil and flour. What we do is we render the fat from those sausages, right? So we don't want to lose any flavor. So we'll render that fat, that natural fat, and then cook that with our roux. So we're just cooking that, browning that flour, adding it to the gumbo. So all that protein flavor, we don't lose any of it. Oh, wow. All that shrimp flavor, don't lose any of it. We brown our crabs in there. Every bit of protein that we have, we try to maintain that flavor right in this pot. And I think that's what separates ours from a lot of others.
And I believe you. And I can't wait to try this world famous gumbo. I am ready.
Oh yes, we got a feast that we're coming out there to you.
Ready. While we're waiting on this food, where did the name Dooky come from?
Well, the name Dooky was a nickname given to my grandfather. It was my grandfather and grandmother who started the business in 1941. The nickname was given to him by his sister, his younger sister, who just started calling him Dooky. And of course, friends were all around. So after all his friends heard that, and they said Dooky, and he said, oh man, that's just what she called me. Well, the name took on, and everyone called him Dooky. And now we have, what, a generation of 5 Dookies.
And that was Auntie, right?
And that was Auntie, his younger sister, yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
So where she got that name from, I'll never know.
Don't know.
But let's have a cheer because you one of the cooks who just perfected this gumbo for us, so.
Thank you. Cheers to world famous Dooky Chase and his world famous gumbo. I'm ready to throw down.
Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Go.
Delicious.
Delicious.
That is delicious. Absolutely.